Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Hey guys, how you going?
Okay, and we're back. Okay, I thought I'd use the old intro just for, old time's sake. Okay, let's get into some news. Awakened Outlaw said we have Liberals demanding the Epstein information be released, something I fully expect to happen at the right time. And now the news is awash in the new revelation that a Republican bought Dominion voting machines, which means that closing in on midterms, there is zero doubt that this will likely end up causing the left to demand paper ballots. Oh, how ironic. What's amazing about these outcomes is that they remarkably align the interests of the left and right on these two issues, something that wouldn't have occurred otherwise. Do you see it now? Granted, in both cases, it serves to move the left towards where the right already was, but what's important is that the people, all of us writ large, are clamouring for the same thing regardless of party. The way I see it, human nature's being leveraged to purposefully get us, or as many of us as they possibly can, on the same proverbial page. In effect, the intentional pursuit of a consensus of critical mass as a means to an end. These are but two examples, and there are more, that hint at reverse psychology on a grand societal scale being applied from, I believe, virtuous interests who have a damn good reason to steer public opinion in the direction we're all heading, even if we disagree on other fundamental issues. It's a hell of a painful, gruelling process, yes. No one would disagree with that, and it's certainly taking longer than we prefer. But the net result legit moves us all closer to the goal line day by day when those issues will come to fruition. I believe this is rather well thought out, purposeful and important. I do believe so too. Dominion voting machine systems are sold to a company run by former Republican election official. How's that? Way to go, reverse psychology. And now that Trump has brought peace in the Middle East, why are Palestinian protesters still trying to protest? What are they protesting exactly? We would like to know. Lisa said, now we know why Anthony Albanese has, here in Australia, our Prime Minister, has run off to Hawaii. He is the absent Prime Minister. He's running everywhere except in Australia. The biggest ever march for Australia is on this weekend. Please be there with your flag to film, post and share the day. The last one was incredible, and this promises to be even better. Hundreds of thousands of people are needed out on the streets to send one clear message. End immigration now. Mass immigration, I believe they mean, and also illegal immigration. Pauline Hanson said today, I've written to the Prime Minister to demand an immediate halt to new 786 visas for Palestinians. What for? And to begin the return of those here temporarily now that the war in Gaza has ended. See, there's a lot more going on here. The conflict is over, rebuilding has begun. This means it's time for those who have been granted temporary protection to return home, just as Australians would be expected to do if the roles were reversed. We must remember, here at home, we're facing a housing crisis. Essential workers can't find rentals, families are sleeping in cars, young Aussies are priced out of a future. Every extra burden, no matter how small, adds pressure to a system already under strain. Temporary visas are meant to be just that, temporary. Australians have shown compassion, but it's time for the Albanese government to put our people first. Charity begins at home. Australians must come first. Now, this is our only hope, I do believe. That's me personally. And if I'm wrong, God help me. Derek Johnson said what many are not seeming to see with these posts, as these should be the most shared of any of mine. None of 2021 to 2025 was real. The Congress and others didn't take an oath, because of the laws and orders still invoked to date all equal the strategies and tactics of the unconventional and irregular warfare of a military occupation and continuity of government. Jack Smith was fraudulent because that's the puppet government, the government in exile. All lawful and bipartisan, which again is the 45 to 47. What's flying over everyone's head and eyes on this post is one of the very key things that validates 45 to 47 and my number one best-selling book's The Only About the Dash. I don't know what that's about, okay? Jack Smith brought charges on President Donald J. Trump on June the 8th, 2023. Didn't most of the world think President Donald J. Trump was a former president in 2023? The record shows Jack Smith dropped the documents case on President Trump in November 2024. Didn't most of the world think President Trump was a former president in 2024? So why does it say in Supreme Court docket 23A745, an ABC article, docket personal records of a sitting president? ABC prohibits the prosecuting of a sitting president. We were picking up on this. I was on my other channels. I do believe as to continuity of government and being a wartime president, that Donald Trump was still in, letting them expose themselves. The charges were brought and dropped when President Trump was thought to be a former president. He wasn't. It can't be any more clear and validated than that. Sitting president. There you go. Question presented whether the three committees of the House of Representatives had the constitutional and statutory authority to issue subpoenas to third-party custodians for the personal records of the sitting President of the United States. SupremeCourt.gov. Interesting, isn't it? This is getting more and more interesting the more we go on. Publius said, did you know Speaker Mike Johnson could impeach any and every left-wing activist judge today with a simple majority vote in the House? These judges would then go on trial in front of the Senate, and the American people and defend their left-wing pro-criminal activism. Although a two-thirds Senate vote would be needed to remove them, they would be forced to answer to the American people. More exposure. And so would the Democrat senators enabling this insanity. Would you support that? I certainly would. I can't wait for this to come undone. Anne Vandersteel said, let's see if I understand this correctly. Letitia James lied about her income to secure a lower mortgage interest rate. She's finally facing one count of each bank fraud and false statements to lenders, and she fully expects to use a $10 million state budget allocation that the Democrats enacted 5 months ago, and that just happens to cover her legal costs. Right, so basically break the law and the taxpayers foot your bill? I don't think so. That shouldn't be that way. Meanwhile, everyday Americans who actually follow the rules are stuck paying their mortgage, struggling with bills and watching this circus unfold. This isn't justice. It's a system rigged for insiders. And somehow we're supposed to trust her to enforce the law on the rest of us? Give me a break. Yeah, she should be locked up. Letitia James is one very corrupt person. Joey Mates said, why would protests continue in light of today's peace deal? That's what I want to know. The Palestinian Action Group in Sydney seems disappointed with the peace deal. Here's a message from all Australians. Just fork off, you terrorist sympathising pieces of you-know-what. We've had enough of your un-Australian BS, and now to declare and register you as a terrorist organisation. We wish they would. ABC News said the Palestine Action Group had expected 40,000 people to attend the rally on Sunday after Trump signed the peace deal. Look at this, 36 likes. That's our ABC News in Australia. Funny that, isn't it? Right, this is a good one. Anon said, I don't think YouTube realises who they just unlocked. You're not the only one, mate. I'm not the same Anon they banned, neither am I. I've changed in 5 years. I'm on a better computer with a real editing program, and I'm way better at editing than I was 5 years ago. I have an arsenal of red pills to drop on YouTube. Let's see if I get banned. And this person, Anon, has their own YouTube channel, and it is Anon, okay? 27,000 subscribers, guys. Okay. I could put what do you call it? There's about 4 or 5 of them together and put them up, which I might just do. Okay, so you can follow Anon on YouTube, Irregular Warfare, okay. Awakened Outlaw said, one thing I'm prepared for is the likelihood that some players we think are bad are going to turn out to be good and vice versa. I agree with this. And I'm seeing things and people that I reported on years ago that may turn out to be good. You've got the black hat, the grey hat, the white hat. The black hats are bad dudes. The grey hats are they could go either way dudes. And the white hats are the good dudes. Okay, hope you like that. Truth is, if you believe like I do, there's a ton more going on behind the scenes than what is available for public consumption, then you'd probably agree this is likely the case. I do believe so. Q did say there will be a lot going on behind the scenes that the public will not know about, and I do see that happening. Who will end up where exactly remains to be seen, but if this isn't the greatest whodunit in history, I don't know what is. All that matters is that good triumphs over evil. That happens, and I'm good with however we get there. Me too, mate. Okay, back to Australia now. Stephen said the e-safety commissar is now saying pictures of bacon and egg rolls should not be posted as they could cause distress to Muslims. I say get your bacon and egg rolls out and flaunt them. Okay. Concerned citizen said, meanwhile in London yesterday, why are you arresting him? He's done nothing wrong. Man arrested for wearing a Union Jack hat and holding a sign, Save Our Kids. He even had his mouth duct taped so he couldn't say anything. British Gestapo police are out of control. The rule of law now no longer apply to anyone from the wrong political cause. That shows you who the UK police are on the side of. Don't worry, I don't think ours are any better. I meme, therefore I am, said the left is already melting down over MAGA accounts sharing a photo of Virginia Democratic gubernatorial candidate Abigail Spanberger wearing a mask during COVID in 2021. It would be such a shame if this went viral. We wouldn't want to trigger them anymore now, would we? It's an escape hood worn during the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on. I think that's hilarious. Either way. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Elon Musk said it's the only solution at this point. Nothing else has or will work. T. Wolf said pretty much 80% of San Francisco wants federal intervention on deporting drug dealers. That's how insane it's been here. 90 plus kilos of fentanyl seized in 1 year by San Francisco Police Department. 4,300 OD deaths since 2020. Hard data doesn't lie. Wow. That's pretty sad, actually. Oz Integrity said Australia, mass immigration is one of the most corrupt tools used by government to plug reckless spending rather than cut, bloat and waste. Australia must come first. Her people must come first. This Sunday, in every city we march. I'm getting tongue-tied. Okay, march on in every city in Australia this Sunday. Hopefully, I don't even know if I can go. I hope I can. That's all I can say. I was at the last few, okay? The freedom marches. Okay, Rosita Diaz here in Australia still, right? Labor cower amid Lydia Thorpe, her threat to torch Parliament House. She has threatened to burn it down. Victorian Liberal Senator Jane Hume says, oh my God, it's hard to read because, sometimes you don't hit the space button properly. Victorian Liberal Senator Jane Humes says independent Senator Lydia Thorpe has hit new lows by threatening to burn down Parliament House for Palestine, mind you. And what excuse does she have now? There's peace. Huh? And has told Labor to do something about Senator Thorpe's continued stunts in her office. Let's face it, she's far more of an activist than she is a legislator or parliamentarian, Senator Hume told Sky News. But there is some cause for concern. In any other workplace, had a threat been made towards the workplace, well, they'd be out on their ear. They'd be fired. They'd be locked out of the building. That can't happen to Lydia Thorpe because she's an elected representative. And every time she makes one of these outrageous comments, Labor cower in the corner. They say, oh, that's just silly old Lydia. They treat her like some crazy relative at a Christmas party rather than taking the threat seriously, rather than taking her disrespect for the institution of the Senate and indeed the Parliament seriously. There is a failure of Labor's making because they keep failing to act. This woman is absolutely nuts. Okay, Lydia Thorpe? She's nuts, the same as Jackie Lambie. We've got two women who are just nutcases. Matthew Kamanzuli said Senator Lydia, same one, brings disgrace on Senate and Parliament. She seems to struggle with basic concepts. Even if Australia was removed from the map entirely, it would have exactly no bearing on the Middle East. None. Australians are hurting here at home. She once pretended to care about that. She needs to find another job. Okay, Melinda Richards said we've seen much discussion about free speech since Charlie Kirk's assassination. I feel we need to get one thing very clear. Conservatives were never calling on people to be sacked because they celebrated and or justified the murder of an innocent man. The loony left are always free to do that, and they did it in spades, showed their disgusting true colours. But if an individual who's a supervisor, manager, CEO or owner of a business does not want a lunatic who laughs at an innocent man being murdered in cold blood because of their politics in their business anymore, for a whole range of very good reasons, then removing them from their workplace is not an attack on free speech. The fact that Conservatives feel that it's all fine and good is also not an overall attack on free speech. If you don't want a mentally deranged narcissist with no soul working for you or your team, you don't have to keep them there. And that's got nothing to do with preserving free speech. That's got something to do with good business, team building, productive and happy work environments, and company culture. Very, very true. Anon again said, I don't care if you call yourself a digital soldier, keyboard warrior, Anon, or an independent journalist. I'm probably a keyboard warrior. I don't know. You can let me know what I am in the comments. Call me whatever you like. I don't care anymore. No, I'm kidding. I don't care how many followers you have or how many views you get. I don't care if you create content or just share others. I don't care if you believe Q or you think it's fake. If you're a patriot, pushing truth, we're on the same team. Together, we are making history. Yes, we are. Alexandra Marshall, again in Australia, said it's a fact that Aussie kids are putting themselves into massive amounts of debt to obtain some of the highest quality qualifications in the world, only for the Albanese government to import 1 million people from the third world with inferior qualifications to fill those jobs, including doctors, nurses and everything else. Aussie kids are being left with crippling debt, no homes and no jobs, or a job far below their qualification level. Albanese should be utterly ashamed of what he has done to the Australian dream. He came in and gave that dream away to other people in exchange for votes. That's exactly what he did. And no arts degrees, like seriously, like good degrees, not stupid degrees. And they should be taught properly. The opinionated black woman auntie said, hey Minzy, Chris Minns, MP here in Australia, seriously bro, go fork yourself. This is nothing but revenue raising. I've been driving a manual since the age of 10. I can drink and eat without looking at what I'm doing and watching the road. Me too. I could find my cigarettes, when I smoked, and light them and find the ashtray and everything without taking my eyes off the road. I can eat, I can drink without taking my eyes off the road. It's not our fault, the good drivers, that you keep giving licences to people who shouldn't be allowed on our roads, like the Indians who have to drive 100 metres on a dirt road, and that's it, and then they get in amongst us. Vita said, New South Wales, I don't have anything particularly against Indians, it's just the amount that are here. New South Wales is introducing a new law that will give the government $1,500 and take away your demerit points if you're caught sipping a drink while driving or even at a traffic light. Australia is a joke. Oh, come on, you've got to be kidding. Do it anyway, guys. This is all meant to scare us, by the way, okay? Do what you need to do. As long as you've got your eyes on the road. I'm not going against the police either, okay? I'm not calling for anything. Just do what you do. Rob Smith said, fellow Australian, if you can't drink and drive at the same time, and I don't mean alcohol, then don't, okay? Fellow Australians said, I urgently call upon every citizen to insist that the Labor government provide full and immediate disclosure regarding the precise whereabouts of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, the absent Prime Minister. It has come to light that the Prime Minister departed Australia on October the 11th for a private 7-day tropical retreat with his partner Jodie, entrusting the duties of acting Prime Minister to Richard Marles during this period. Oh, dear God. Such a decision represents a profound dereliction of the solemn responsibilities inherent in the office of Prime Minister, a role that demands unwavering availability and leadership around the clock, particularly amid escalating economic hardships, geopolitical tensions and domestic crisis confronting our nation. Should Mr Albanese harbour any intention of treating this position as a mere part-time endeavour, he must seriously contemplate relinquishing his leadership of the Labor Party without further delay. The Australian people are entitled to far more than an ineffective, intermittently absent Prime Minister whose repeated disappearances betray a glaring absence of vigour, resolve and commitment to public service. This administration's figurehead has demonstrably exhausted his capacity for effective governance, rendering his continued tenure an intolerable burden on the electorate he was elected to serve and the nation. It is imperative that this discredited leader retire forthwith. His stewardship has devolved into a national embarrassment, eroding public confidence and jeopardising our collective progress. I implore you, engage your members of Parliament, amplify this imperative across all channels and compel the government to uphold the accountability it so brazenly evades. Australia requires a dedicated steward, not a fleeting shadow. In defence of our sovereignty, Rob Smith. I agree. Donald J. Trump has said, I am pleased to announce that the great Dan Scavino, in addition to remaining Deputy Chief of Staff of the Trump admin, will head the White House Presidential Personnel Office, replacing Sergio Gore, who did a wonderful job in that position, and will now become the ambassador to India. Dan will be responsible for the selection and appointment of almost all positions in government, a very big and important decision. Congratulations, Dan, you'll do a fantastic job. President DJT, well done. Wall Street Mav said Italy, the 400-year-old monastery of Banaga has just been burnt down. For some reason, churches in France and Italy keep burning down, thousands of them in the last few years, but they're not burning down in Poland so often because Poland has stopped migration and other things, I believe. Can anyone else tell me why? Yeah, Islam. Okay, there you go. Insider Paper said just in, Trump says there's a couple of world leaders in this room who I don't like at all. Let's have a listen.
New York, I met with many of the people in this room, and it all just started coming together. I've known so many of you for so long. You're friends of mine. You're great people. I have a couple I don't like in particular, but I won't tell you who. I have actually a few of them I don't like at all, but you'll never find out who they are. Well, maybe you will, come to think of it. But in New York, I met with many...
Way to go, Trump. Look, Keir Starmer. Okay. Moose's Felix said sometimes things just don't go as planned. I thought I'd put something funny in here, okay? Let's have a look. I'm probably not going to be able to play it. It's got music. And I may not be able to make it big screen either. They'll copyright you for that as well. Oh, no. Some of them don't have any sound at all. Some of them have a lot of sound and very loud. Whoops. I didn't hear her playing the guitar before she fell. Oh no. Oops. Got you in the head. Oh no. There it goes. Oops.
Going with your feet like that, and then start pedaling. Ouch! Oh!
She's playing.
Oh.
Why? How are you gonna get your car now? She's gonna go. Of course she will.
Oh no.
Take the... Dude, she's gonna go. No. She's gonna go.
Oh no. Supposed to turn it upside down. Oh no. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea.
I broke my scissor. Oh my.
Didn't make it. Well, okay, guys, that was just some funny stuff for the end of the video. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today. I've got a headache, and I'll be back. I'll be doing a live as soon as I can work things out properly. Okay, guys, much love. I hope you have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.